Now, in the earlier session, we had seen the different properties and definitions related to ultrasound. Now, a very important phenomena always that is associated whenever we talk of ultrasound is called Doppler effect. In your preliminary classes, you must have studied about this somewhere. So Doppler effect is actually a very, very important phenomena which is responsible for helping us in making all the measurements with the help of ultrasound. Okay, so what is actually Doppler effect? The frequency of the reflected ultrasonic energy is either increased or decreased by a moving surface. So whenever you incident an ultrasound wave from a source, okay, it goes, strikes a surface and then comes back, right? So if that striking surface is actually moving, okay, it might either come close to you or it might go away from you. Depending on that, either the frequency of that reflected ultrasonic wave will either be increased or it will be decreased. Okay, the amount of frequency shift that is observed, delta f, is given by 2v divided by lambda, where f is the delta f is actually shift in the frequency of the reflected wave, v is velocity of the interface, and lambda is wavelength of the transmitted ultrasound. So in order to understand this phenomena, you can actually see that it's a very common example that we always quote whenever we have to talk of the Doppler effect. That is, if you hear a vehicle, if a vehicle is traveling at a distance and it is suppose blowing a horn. Okay, so you can hear that horn from some distance. But whether that vehicle is approaching towards you or whether that vehicle is going away from you, that you can actually make out just by hearing the sound of that horn. Okay, how? If that vehicle is approaching towards you, the sound becomes louder and louder, and that pitch of the sound actually goes on increasing. Okay, so that means that if the source is coming closer to the target, okay, if the source of sound is coming closer to you, the frequency of that sound increases, the sound that you are hearing actually increases, and if it is going away from you, the frequency goes on decreasing. So frequency increases when the interface moves towards the transducer and decreases when it moves away. So you have a transducer which is actually giving out ultrasound waves, and the striking surface from which the ultrasound is getting reflected back, if that surface is coming close to you, the frequency will increase. That means the frequency of the reflected wave will be high as compared to the incident wave. But if the surface is going away from you, the frequency of the reflected wave will actually be lower than the incident wave. So this phenomena is actually called Doppler effect. Okay. Now, whenever we are talking of, now we come to specifically biomedical, when we are talking of medical applications, the ultrasound transmission mode, when I say, it actually means how we are incidenting the ultrasound wave. Okay, source may say ultrasound wave, how it is coming out, in what form, is it continuous, is it in short bursts, in what way. Okay, so the modes of transmission for ultrasound, we have four modes. One is the pulsed ultrasound mode, continuous Doppler, pulsed Doppler, and range gated pulsed Doppler. These are the four modes of transmission of ultrasound that we use in medical applications. Okay, now the first one is pulsed ultrasound. So in this, ultrasound is transmitted in short bursts at a repetition rate ranging from 1 to 12 kilohertz. Okay, the returning echoes, they are displayed as a function of time after transmission, which is proportional to the distance from source to the interface. And the burst duration is about 1 microsecond. Now, in this, what happens? You send the ultrasound wave not in continuous form. You can see in the diagram, there is a short wave sent, then the transducer goes silent for some time. Then, after certain waiting period, again there is a short burst of ultrasound that is sent. So, in terms of small pulses, the ultrasound wave is actually transmitted. And in case of pulsed ultrasound, the distance, that this time, waiting time when it is there, in this actually you can, the same transducer can record the echo. Okay, so what happens? one ultrasound pulse goes, okay, then the transducer, it doesn't transmit anything, it sits idle. In the meantime, what happens, the earlier echo which was coming from the surface, from the striking surface, that is recorded by the same ultrasound, and it is given to you in the form of electric pulse. Once that is done, then again the transducer originates another ultrasound pulse, and it gets transmitted. So likewise, it is functioning in short bursts. One pulse it transmits, then catches one echo, then it transmits one pulse, then records one echo. Like this, alternately, the transducer, it works when we talk of pulsed ultrasound. Okay, opposite to that, we have continuous Doppler. In this, the ultrasound energy is actually transmitted in continuous form. There is no break in between. Continuously, there is ultrasound energy being transmitted. And in this case, if you have to record simultaneously, you need two transducers. Okay, so in the pulsed ultrasound, the same transducer was transmitting also and recording also. But over here, what happens? You need two transducers, one for transmission and another one for recording the echoes, because continuously one transducer has to go on emitting the ultrasound waves, and the second transducer will continuously record the echoes that are coming, because if your transmitted wave is continuous, the echo will also be continuous. If your transmitted wave is in pulse form, the echo will also be in pulse form. Okay, so continuous ultrasonic signal is transmitted while returning echoes are picked up by a separate receiving transducer. The frequency shifts due to moving interface are detected and recorded, and the average velocity of the target is determined as a function of time. Okay, so this is used in blood flow meters and other applications, in which the average velocity is measured without regard to the distance from the source. So basically, when the average velocity, it is calculated from the frequency shift that is occurring in the um, echo, the echo that you are getting. Then you that the frequency of that echo is actually compared with the source transmission, and we see how much the frequency has shifted. That actually gives you the value of the velocity of the moving target. So blood flow meter is actually one very popular example for that. The velocity of blood flow, it is actually measured with the help of this ultrasound continuous Doppler effect. Then we have pulsed Doppler. Now again, this is similar to the pulsed ultrasound. Pulsed ultrasound was actually when it is static. When you are sending the target is actually static. Okay, so you are actually sending a bursts of ultrasound and recording an echo, and you are simply trying to see that how much energy has come back in terms of magnitude. That will actually give you that will help you in imaging. When the source is static, you send some ultrasound wave, it strikes the surface, some gets refracted, some gets reflected. That reflected energy is recorded and then calculated in terms of some image. So you get that image of the source. When you apply Doppler effect, then along with the image, you are also calculating the velocity with which the target surface is actually moving. Okay, so short bursts of ultrasonic energy are transmitted and the returning echoes, they are received. So frequency shifts due to the movement of the reflected surfaces can be measured to determine the velocity. Again, Doppler effect is there, frequency shift is being measured. Both velocity and distance of the moving target can be measured. Okay, when it is static, you can measure the distance and you can get the image. But when you combine the Doppler effect along with that, you can also measure the velocity of the moving surface. Okay, so that is the pulsed Doppler effect. Then we have range gated Doppler effect. This is the refinement of the pulse Doppler. A gating circuit is actually attached which permits the measurement of velocity of target at a specific distance only. Okay, so once the target actually goes beyond that particular distance, it is not going to measure. So you have an electronic circuit attached to your transducers which records the velocity of the target only at a specific distance. So that is gated. That means you have fixed the distance with the help of an electronic circuitry. Beyond that distance, no measurements will be made. Okay, so for example, the velocity of blood can be measured not only as a function of time, but also as a function of distance from the vessel wall. So you can actually know the velocity as well as the distance, how it is changing. So with the help of these, we have certain medical ultrasound imaging modes. Okay, you must have heard of these: A scan, B scan, and M scan. A scan or A mode is the simplest type of ultrasound. A single transducer, it scans a line through the body with the echoes plotted on the screen as a function of depth. So what happens? You have a single ultrasound transducer. It emits ultrasound wave. The ultrasound waves travel straight line into your body, strikes a surface and comes back. We record the echo, and that echo is actually giving us that echo at different times. You know, that value that we are recording, that is shown on the screen, and that gives us the idea of depth or distance of any surface that we are coming in contact with. Okay, so if I show you the first figure that you can see is A mode scan. This is one dimensional scan. You get only one value, just like one single graph. So this is basically what this is, the echoes as a function of depth, right? Depth over here will be distance, of course. So A scan mode is where you have a simple transducer. It go the echo the wave, it goes, strikes the surface and comes back, and it's a one dimensional graph which gives you only one information at a time. When you go to B scan is actually a two-dimensional image. So in B scan mode ultrasound, an array of transducers simultaneously scans a plane through the body that can be viewed as two-dimensional image on the screen. Okay, so over there we had a single transducer in a single line it would go. That is just for point detection. Okay, but in B scan, we have an array of transducers which is simultaneously scanning a lot of places in your a lot of angles in your body, and when all the signals they are combined together, a two-dimensional image is formed on the screen. So over here, like you can see, this is B scan of a kidney. You can actually see in two-dimensional mode the shape of the kidney. Okay, so this is actually not from single transducer. This is from array of transducers. It is actually getting, this figure. This is a two-dimensional figure. So that is B scan mode. Then we have M scan. This stands for motion. Like I told you that there are certain methods in which velocity and distance, the upper one two, these are for imaging, or you can say distances. But M scan is actually incorporating motion also along. So M stands for motion. In M mode, a rapid sequence of B mode scans whose images follow each other in sequence on screen enables the doctors to see and measure range of motion as the organ boundaries that produce reflections move relative to the probe. So any movement, like for example, a heart, if you have a heart valve, when the heart is functioning, when it is performing the pumping action, the valve of the heart is actually moving. So from one particular distance, wherever you have placed your probe, if the pumping action is making a movement in the heart valve, the distance of the heart valve with respect to the ultrasound probe will vary. So over here now, Doppler effect comes into picture because there is a moving target, because the valve of the heart is going up and down, to and fro movement it is showing because of the pumping action. So that is actually scanned with the help of M scan. Over here, this is actually multi-dimension. M stands for motion over here. So it becomes a multi-dimensional thing, that is multiple B scans are coming with every time instant. In a sequence, multiple B scans are being taken place. Okay, so that helps in measuring, the range of motion, because there is a relative movement taking place. So we can actually incorporate the measurement of motion along with that. So we have three scan modes which are popularly used in biomedical applications: A scan, that is one dimensional; B scan, that is two dimensional; and M scan, which also incorporates the motion along with the image or the distance. Okay, so these are basically different types in which we are using the fundamental of ultrasound and Doppler effect to get useful biomedical information.